Today on Ballistic BBQ, I'm going to be comparing a $394 chamber vacuum sealer to a $1,050 chamber vacuum sealer. Let's get going. So quick disclosure, this vacuum sealer here was sent to me by Vevor to review. These opinions are my own, however, I am not bound to promote this at all. You'll hear what I like about this and what I don't like about it. So this is the DZ320, and I'm comparing this today with the VacMaster VP210, and this is the maintenance version. And for anyone that knows about like chamber vacs, I guess, and sous vide type equipment, VacMaster's this is the standard. Everybody compares themselves to VacMaster, so this is top-notch stuff right here. Now, I had mentioned that the VacMaster here, this VP210, is maintenance free. Now, what that means is this has no oil in the pump. It's a dry vacuum pump, where the Vevor, you do have to add oil. It comes with a small bottle of oil to add it, and there's an area in the back here where you can see the level. There's a little window, and I'm guessing, having had other type of equipment that required oil, it would take a lot of use before you're going to need to add any, but it's not a difficult process anyway. The biggest difference right off the bat is the price. As I stated, the Vevor here is $394. Now they have a smaller version of this. It's $293, so it's a deal. Now this VacMaster, this one that I have here, this is $1,050 for the maintenance-free oilless pump. If you wanted to get the version that required oil, it's like $850. Still a lot more expensive than the Vevor. As you can see, both have plexiglass lids with kind of a nice bubble on the top. You can see what's going on inside, and they have some type of version of a clamp that holds them down. So the interior dimensions of the Vevor, this is where your bag with the food will go. The width is a little over 13 inches, about 13.5 inches, and the depth is about 11.5 inches. The width of the VacMaster is about 11.25 inches, and the depth is just under 14 inches. So pretty similar as far as the interior dimensions. Let me explain how these things work. You'll notice that the VacMaster has what look like cutting boards. And what these do is they basically take up space. If you're sealing smaller bags of food, it eliminates the volume that the machine actually needs to remove as far as the air in that chamber. Now the Vevor, instead of those, like I said, those cutting board type things, they're using kind of a stainless steel plate that is removable. Now the controls do the same on both machines. The difference is this has actually more buttons, where this one you're actually cycling through functions and using the up-down keys. This machine, the Vevor, you have individual buttons for, again, vacuum time, sealing time, and cooling time. You can select single seal or dual seal, and I cannot figure out, I think what they did was they used a control panel for one of their bigger machines that actually has two sealers, because this one only has one. They actually have, this is the same brand gauge on both of them, which makes sense because both of these machines are actually made in China. And the funny thing is, until I started setting up for this video, I did not know that the VacMaster was made in China, but they both are made in China. Let me give you the outer dimensions. So the exterior width of the Vevor is about 14.75 inches. The length is 17.5, and the height, and I'm going up to the top of the lid here, 14 inches. The VacMaster, 13 inches wide, and the length is 19 inches, and the height, again up to here, the top of the lid, 12.5 inches. The Vevor weighs 61 pounds, VacMaster weighs 72 pounds. This has a 1-year limited warranty. I can't find any warranty information, but they do offer a 30-day free, no questions asked return. But again, the price is you can't even compare the two prices. The one thing that I'm not going to obviously be able to test is the longevity of the machine. This one I've had for probably 5 years now, and it's given me zero problems. Why a chamber vac over a vacuum sealer like a food saver machine? That answer is very easy. First of all, you can't compare the seal, the tight vacuum seal you're going to get with one of these from a food saver like a vacuum seal machine. What those are doing is actually, sucking air out of the bag, where what these are doing, and you'll see it happen, is it creates a vacuum inside the chamber around the bag, and you'll actually see the bag inflate. And once there's a 100% vacuum inside this chamber, it goes to positive very quickly, and at the same time, like within a second, it's sealing the bag. And it's windy as heck out here, so I'm hoping it doesn't, my mic's not picking it up. But again, it's that, like when you get a block of cheese, they're using a chamber vac to vacuum seal those blocks of cheese. Butcher shops are using them to vacuum seal their steaks and everything. In my opinion, the biggest bonus of a chamber vac over a vacuum sealer is liquids. I can vacuum seal a bag of water in either of these machines. And I know if anybody's ever had a vacuum seal machine, you're sealing a steak in a bag and you're watching the juices from the steak go into the vacuum sealer. You don't have to worry about that with this. You can also, and hopefully I have an empty jar, I'll show you. You can actually create a vacuum in like a mason jar with one of these machines. If I have a jar that's not being used, I'll demonstrate that, which is pretty cool. Anyway, let's go ahead and do a demo on these machines. Again, it's a kind of an apples to apples comparison here. So first thing I'm going to do in the VacMaster, I'm going to remove one of these boards here. I think just one will do. I'm going to leave this one alone. So I like using bags that are specifically made for chamber vacs. I think they're stronger than those kind of waffle pattern vacuum sealer bags, and they're pre-cut, and they're not going to leave that weird pattern on your steaks, and they're cheap. I get these on Amazon, this is I think 12 inches by 10, and it's like $50 for 1,000 bags, and you can get them in smaller quantities, like 100, 250 bags. But they also sell these in several different size bags, like small bags. This is about as large as you're going to want to use in one of these machines, however. New York strip. I ran out today and bought a couple of New York strips. Just put that in the bag. And so we can demonstrate liquid. I bought some marinade. This is a chimichurri marinade. Just going to pour some of this in here. About half the bottle. So this is the Vevor machine. Now on Vevor, here's the bar is on the opposite end as the VacMaster, and it has a little kind of a guide, I guess I'm going to call it. So we'll put that under the guide, and then this is the heat element here. This is what's going to give us the seal on the bag. And we'll do the same thing with the VacMaster. Drop this again, a New York strip. Take some of that store-bought chimichurri marinade. I'm ashamed of myself. Pour that in there. Now on this VacMaster, this is where the heating element, it's at the front of the unit. So just lay that down, put that in there like that. On the VacMaster, right there is the power knob. As you're facing the machine, it's on the left side. And on the Vevor, it's that blue lever right there. It's on. So I'm going to try and do these simultaneously by pushing the lids down. Now what's going to happen is we're going to push the lids down and hold them until the machines start drawing a vacuum, then you let go of it. You'll see as soon as it's done with the process, the lid's going to automatically open. You do not use these levers while it's actually functioning. These are just when the machine's not in use. Yeah, the one thing I will tell you, I'm running them at the same time, but the oil machine, the Vevor that's requiring the oil, it is a little louder than the VacMaster. So let's do this. And here we are. As you can see, no liquid at all escaped. Now what I'm going to do is vacuum seal something that doesn't have liquid, just so you can see how tight of a vacuum it gets. Because again, there's liquid in here, so you're not getting the full effect. So just for lack of nothing else to put in the bag, here's a bag, and I'm using a half of an apple. My wife cut a half of an apple today, I think for breakfast. All right, we're going to use the Vevor here. And there we are. You can really see how skin tight this seal is. Again, you'd be hard pressed to get as a high quality of a seal with one of those vacuum machines, you know, the food saver type. And I think you can see this thing gives a really nice seal. Way better than the seal on, again, one of those standard vacuum machines. So unfortunately, I do not have any mason jars to give you a demo, but you can actually put the jars with the lid on, just the cap lid, inside these machines. I usually remove the the bases and get a really good seal. And one of the reasons why I do that is with my freeze-dried foods. It just like with berries and everything. You know, you can just have shelves full of your freeze-dried fruits and everything, and it just makes it nice and convenient. My opinion is I'm very impressed for the price of this, what it's doing compared. I mean, it's the same performance as my $1,000 machine here. Again, the one thing I can't measure just yet is the longevity, but I will say it seems to be 304 stainless on both of these. I know, a magnet's not sticking to this. It doesn't say 304. It doesn't say what grade of stainless it is. But usually the cheap, high carbon, stainless steel, you can stick a magnet to the surface, and a magnet will not stick to this, which is a good sign. Which means it's not going to corrode or rust, or it's going to really resist corrosion and rust. For the price, I can tell you for what is it, $394 for this version. I've easily spent enough to buy 2 of these machines on replacing the old vacuum sealer machines that I've had in the past. So I think it's a value. I do. I will be recommending this to my friends, and yeah, so I'm recommending it to you. Get rid of those old vacuum sealer machines and take a look at these. The one drawback is they are heavy. It's not portable. I mean, this thing's over 60 pounds. This thing's over 70. They take up little space on the counter. I have a special little table thing that I stand, mine on. You can use them in your garage. If you have, like a fridge in the garage and you're processing game meat, or one of the things I use mine for is I like to buy, the big whole roast, dry age them, stake them out, and I individually seal these. And unlike those vacuum machines, it's going to be like this when you take it out of the freezer, a year or 2 later. It's amazing. Anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. I will have links down below to check out. Please do. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please make sure you take the time, hit that little red button, ring the notification bell, and thumb it up if you like it. I hope you did. See you on the next video. Cheers.